Okay,
come
sure,
to me.
sure, no worries. Okay, so today we'll be covering integration. Okay,
Okay, okay.
so let's cover that.
And Pavni, have you
Yes,
gone through the resume which I had attached in the?
CV, I didn't have the time to prepare.
Okay, okay,
So what I'm
okay,
thinking is I'll conduct your mock and
okay,
prepare the CV tomorrow.
okay, okay,
So we'll probably have a mock of about around. I'm planning to have it like around 11 to 11:30. Your mock
okay, okay, okay,
interview.
okay.
If you're free, or maybe we'll have it at 9. What do you suggest?
Anytime is fine. Like I'm not having any
Fine.
issues.
Okay, so I'll let you know. So tomorrow only is your mock, and it's on me that I need to prepare your CV. Okay.
Okay, okay, okay,
Okay, sure. Let me just share my screen. So
okay.
we will take it to the integration. So first I'll give you an overview of integration, and then we'll take to
Yeah, yeah,
that.
yeah. And REST API
Yes.
is done, implemented by Postman or
Sorry.
like integration will be achieved by Postman or some other
Yeah,
tools
third
we are
party
going to use.
application. Will do integration within the system and also the third
Okay.
party application.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, sure.
so today we'll learn about REST because SOAP is obsolete. Not much SOAP
Yes, yes.
integration is in
Yeah,
scope now. Okay, so we'll start off with that. Uh, just a second. Yeah. So, so with the term REST, first let me give you an overview of what is integration. Okay, integration is like, what do you think is integration?
like to combine behavior of two applications together.
Okay, I have one application called as some application. It could be cloud based, application. Let me just pull it up. I'll just probably in our case, since we are using Postman, I'll just say Postman. Okay,
Okay,
this
okay,
is application. It any application. It could be cloud based or web based. Okay,
okay,
I am integrating this with. I'll just put this integrating this with ServiceNow. Okay.
okay.
Sorry, I didn't make a pictorial representation, nothing as such. So you let me know if in case you're stuck anywhere, you just stop me, okay, so that I'll be
Yeah,
able
yeah,
to
yeah,
explain. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So this application, it could be cloud based or web based, and we are integrating this with ServiceNow. And what happens is we are sending. I mean, like why do we even send requests to process some data? Correct?
Yes, 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 yes.
Yes or no? So
Yes.
we send request, and what happens? ServiceNow authenticates this request with the authorization, meaning to say with the specific user ID and password. All right.
Okay.
So
Yes, yes.
when we are doing the integration, I'll let you know how to all of those details in detail. So this is just
Okay.
the overview that I'm giving. So by the term, so we are sending a request to Snow, and it could also be bidirectional, right? That Snow also
Yes,
could
yes.
send request to
That
could send
application.
request to any app to other
Yeah,
app, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Now, if a third party app is sending request to ServiceNow, then what is that?
Incoming.
Yes, it is inbound.
Yes, yes, yes.
Just like the you if you
Email.
remember the inbound integrations,
Yeah,
email
yeah,
integrations, correct?
yeah,
So
yeah,
this
yeah.
is inbound integration. And what if ServiceNow is sending a request?
Outbound again. Outbound integration. Yes.
Yes, it's outbound integration. Fine. So if I say integration, so can I say that it is to make two application communicate with each other in order so that they can send request and receive response in response? Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
So any application that is sending request will send its request. So the application that is receiving the request will authenticate the request, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Application, see, it's not like we will go randomly and we will start integrating all the APIs with ServiceNow. Then what happens? The
It will
system
be
could be
one.
hacked, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So application that receives the request also needs to do some authentication.
Yes, yes.
Yes. So see, without authenticating, without I'm knowing that this is the legit source that I'm getting the request from, if I immediately send out the data, what happens? Just a second, maybe. Just a
Yeah,
second.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hello. Yes. So what I was saying is, if any application that is receiving the request, right, without authenticating, if it just process the request and send out data, what will happen?
Security will not be there for the data which
Yes.
is transferring between.
Yes. So can we say that? So can we say that it needs to have some authentication in place?
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Okay then. So if I say what then if I say what is authenticate, I mean sorry, if I say what is integration, can you give me an example?
Like combining two applications together to get send and to get the transactions done between two applications.
Yes. Okay. Fine. Now can I say that like so the interfaces? I'll tell you how the I mean like what kind of integrations would be there.
Okay, okay,
First,
okay.
it could be we could have data and process integration and login integration, such as let me just put up the types of integration available in ServiceNow or the types of integration that we see in ServiceNow. Okay. One could be login integration, okay,
Okay.
and other could be data processing integration. Now, in case of login integration, what happens is that if you remember, I told you about SSO, single
Yes,
sign on,
yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes, yes,
right? Every
yes.
time single sign on, let me please put this. Now, you have been in, let's suppose, in your organization, you have been provided an ID and password, okay? And
Okay.
it is the first time that you set up Outlook and other things. Let's say set up MS Office, right? And all the other things, correct?
Yes, yes.
So Outlook, do you log in? Do you provide your password, user ID and password every now and then?
No, no, no.
No. Okay, so I mean, any other application that you access, like your it could be your workday, some other internal applications that you access. Can you say that you will be providing your user ID and password every now and then, or if you just access the URL, it is taking you with your ID is authenticated?
For these tools, we need to provide the user and password whenever we are
See,
logging to the.
is it in your Fujitsu also that you are supposedly you're accessing some relevant documents or you're submitting a timesheet? You're every now and then you are
Yes,
putting up
yes,
a
yes. Need to
password.
log in. Yeah,
Okay,
need to
so
log in. But if it is like if it is an
think of
internal,
it. Yeah, think of it.
like if it is a part of the application, then we need not to log in
Yes,
again. If it is a
yes,
separate application, then we need to log in.
yes. It is if it is an external application, you explicitly would log in. If it is
Yes, yes.
not, it will take. So that is called single sign-on, meaning to say any application that is tied within the organization, if it is internal, all you need to do is have only sign in at one place, and your authentication has happened on all the other applications. That's the single sign-on, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
So even when you're accessing the ServiceNow instances, right, it is like, you don't put a login ID and password.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's quickly go off here. See what will happen here. What if I am I would have shown you my you know the instance how I am accessing in my this thing, but I cannot show that. What will happen is, if any instance that you log in, right, it'll be like, you don't put up a, you don't do a login dot do
Okay. Okay.
immediately. You will do, I mean, like, you after .com you will just hit enter and you are going to do it. I mean, like, it's not like, you are specifically going to put up your credentials.
Only like we can
Yeah.
do like at the end of the session after recording has been ended, so that I can see the instance like in real time.
If the how I'm accessing the instance.
Yes, 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 in real time, like.
So that's in my office laptop, Mithun. That's what I'm just wondering. How will I show that to you? Single sign-on. Have you never done? Have you never seen single sign-ons before? How is that you access your BMC?
It's again like it's another account, like it is of another domain, right? Actually, the whole application was situated in Germany, Fujitsu, so we
Okay,
had
so how do you access the BMC then? In that case.
like we had that user account for Germany TDS, Germany Fujitsu, so that we are using that AD account.
Okay, but see, I mean, like, is it that see, there is one way of accessing. Let me just access this instance once again.
Yeah,
I close this. See, if I'm
it's
doing a
like
single sign-on, yeah.
yeah, it's like help.tds.fujitsu.com/server name and
Sorry,
all.
Mithun, I'm not able to hear you.
The URL is like help.tds.fujitsu.com/server name and all forms and that.
Okay,
There
fine.
is
Okay, now I'll give you a vague example, but this is not the example. Okay, how I
okay,
literally access, but this is how it is. Because see, I cannot share my credit. I mean, like, company details. That's a bit. Otherwise, I would have shown you. I don't
yeah,
have
yeah,
any issues on that. See,
yeah.
see how I access my instance is that type something like this. Okay, so let's suppose this. What is this?
Instance number,
From dev to number. What is this?
instance particular instance
ID.
ID. Yeah,
ID.
yeah.
So my
Yes,
instance, let's suppose my client instance is like this. All right.
yes, yes, yes.
I directly access it like this. Once my single sign-on is done, I directly access it like this.
Okay, okay. Yeah,
Okay.
got it,
I
got it.
Yeah, I explicitly don't put up a login dot to.
Okay, okay. Yeah.
Meaning to say, let me just log out from this instance again. I'll put the login dot to.
So can we implement here a single sign-on like without any integration?
I
Then
didn't understand.
like can we implement a single sign-on in this instance without having any integration?
No,
External.
Midun, because I have not done any single sign-on, right? Single sign-on is like, it's from the AD, right?
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, 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 okay.
So I don't have any AD. I don't have
Yeah,
any,
yeah, got it, got
my
it.
details. So that's why I was
Yeah,
just wondering, how do I show? But you are getting a vague idea.
yeah, yeah. I got it, got it.
Okay. So I'll just put this. So the types of integration is data processing and login integrations. Okay. And what is data processing integration? Meaning to say, when I say data processing integration, it could have several types, right? Like, one of the integrations that I did was, uh, like, I have from a third party tool. Okay.
Okay,
I In our ServiceNow instance, it was like kind of a, how do I say, they were having these servers and other data centers. All right.
okay, okay,
So what happens in their integration, what they needed was that whatever the data centers has been updated within the last 7 days. All right. Within the
okay,
last 7 days, they had a time frame. We have to send the data out to the third party application in the form of JSON.
okay,
All right.
okay,
In sense, JSON is like, this is like an application. Okay. Here,
okay,
what will happen is, it will send out data, like without any how do I say, without any comma separator. It will send out data in form of like compact data, like in form of string type.
Okay.
All right.
Hmm.
So what will happen, that third party tool, what it was doing is, it was sending an integration, like it was sending, so from third party, if it is sending request to service now, what is that type, what's the type of integration there?
Inbound.
Inbound integration. So what was happening is, in ServiceNow, so is ServiceNow there, in ServiceNow we had OAuth, we had designed the OAuth. Meaning
Okay.
this is again was coming from the AD, okay? So
Okay.
here in OAuth, what was happening is that we used to give the username, okay, not only the username, password, but also we were giving generating a token.
Okay. RSA
Okay,
token.
like every 10 minutes we were generating token.
Okay. Okay.
Just a second. Are you able to see my screen, Mithun?
Yes. 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 Yes.
Yeah, okay, okay. Okay, so what it was, I mean, like every 10, every, this token was refreshed in like, like there was an time interval, like how often
Like
this token has to get refreshed.
RSA token, right? Like RSA token.
RSA token, it could be RSA token. If you see your multi-factor authentication in Google
Yes.
also,
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
like it will say, it will send you an OTP, it will say that it is valid for 10 minutes, right?
Yes. 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 Yes.
Right. So this was OAuth. We were doing OAuth, and what happens is, in ServiceNow, once it processes, once it authenticates what was happening, it used to go to the specific table. There, it will fetch a record last updated within 7 days. Okay,
Okay.
within 7 days, it does, and then it fetches all those records and sends back to the third party application.
Okay.
Okay, so in form of I'll just put this as the lab. Okay, so we'll get to know. So what was happening? It was sending data in form of JSON. JSON means is just nothing but like a container. Okay. Now remember when we were creating a glide record query, right?
Yeah.
When we were creating a glide record query, what was the first thing that we were doing?
We need to define a variable.
Variable. So with that variable, if you remember, what was that variable that I went on saying? What was that variable that I went on saying? If you remember, was I saying something called as object?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Object dot this, object dot that, object dot this, I was
Yeah.
saying,
Yeah.
right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So in meaning to say, I in my layman terms, if I'm creating a variable, suppose like this, what was this? This was a variable containing what? A string value, correct?
Yes. 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 Yes.
Right.
Yes.
But now I am gliding into the incident table. Yes or no?
Yeah. Yeah.
So if I'm gliding into the incident table, within this variable, am I not storing the entire table structure of incident?
Yeah. Yeah.
Correct? So
Yes. Yes.
meaning to say, this will become the object, right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So
Yes.
tomorrow if I have to access this object's incident table state, what am I going to do? Just put gr dot state.
Yeah.
If I need to access the value of it,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
see,
Like if
I'm gliding into, see, now I'll give you example. I'm gliding
like
into incident table. Okay.
yeah. Yeah.
With
Like tomorrow,
this,
if we want the state of the particular incident, we can directly write
yeah,
gr dot incident. Yeah. Yeah.
yes. See, I'm gliding into incident table with the variable, right? That is gr.
Yes. 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 Yeah.
Until
Yeah.
I initiated a variable, it was a variable.
Yes.
Once I
Yes.
did a glide record into the incident table, what that becomes now? It becomes the object, right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Meaning to say, this object, can I now say that that object, now for example, now I have glided into this table incident. Now GR will contain the table structure. GR will contain the 52 records in it.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
gr will contain each records all tables,
yeah, yeah.
sorry, each records fields
Yes, yes.
and
And
fields value.
yeah, and Pawni, if you want to
Yeah.
like fetch only a particular incident details, then how we can for a particular, like for a 10th incident or 15th incident, we need to fetch the details in that.
How are you
Then we
going
need
to specify it is 10th incident or 15th incident? Is it by the SysID if you want to specifically get an incident, or is it the first few records you want to get?
like only for starting from 5th to 10th records, we need to fetch from the table.
Why will you have that query? What I mean, like, how will you get that query? You tell me. First to fifth to 10th is not possible, but can I say first to fifth is possible or first to 10th is possible? That is possible. But if you are identifying fifth to 10th record, what is the uniqueness in that? Why should the glide record find only that? Tell me any data that has that.
No, no,
No, right?
no,
But in a background script, let me just show that. Am I confusing?
no, no.
But in a background, that's why I asked you to follow the glide record methods. In a background script, now just I'll initiate this, okay, randomly.
No.
Glide record this, okay, incident and a gr dot query. Okay, I'm not putting anything middle. Just see this.
Okay, okay.
While uh, gr dot next, what am I going to get? gs dot print. What is the output in the background script we get? How
We
do
will
we
get
print the output? gs dot print, right?
IDs, IDs, IDs.
Yeah. No, I don't want IDs. I just want to see the numbers. How many records that it has.
Incident
Okay,
number we
there
need to number. We need to define
not.
the number.
Okay, I will not need number, but I just need I need the number of records in that table.
Okay.
How am I going to get that? I said there was one method called as get row count.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
See, this is one of the methods in glide record query. Okay, fine. See,
Okay.
what is this? gr dot query. What did we do? Okay,
New black.
I didn't give a space. I didn't give a space. Why is it giving undefined? Okay. Dot query. We didn't give any add query. It gave 80. Why it gave 80? Let's see. Active is true. If I remove this filter, 80. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes. Now I want to fetch only active records. Then what you do?
Instead of row count, we will need to
No, I will do it here only, right? Why do I have to? I'll put another add query.
gr.add query state
Add
equal to.
query, right? Yeah. Active is true. State is not. Because it is active, right? We have to fetch
Yeah,
active
yeah,
only, right? So
yeah, yeah.
active is true, right?
Yes, yes,
Okay. Now it will give me 52 records,
yes.
correct?
Yeah, yeah.
So this is add query method. This is add query method. What is this? Glide record method,
Okay.
right? See,
Yes.
in glide record itself, we have add query as one method, we have query as one method, and we have get row count as one method. In add query, we have active. We push in the field and its value, right, to filter.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is like additional filters, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, now then I want to access the records, first five records, right? So I did
Yeah.
an active query in this. Okay, now what am I going to do? I want to query only 10 records, or let's say five records. So there is another method called as gr.setLimit, meaning to
Okay.
say
Okay.
once you iterate into this table and with this query, All right.
Yeah.
Fetch only those five records, first five records, meaning to say, once it iterates into the incident table, right? It is
Yes.
not
Yes.
going to go randomly. Okay.
Okay. It's
It
starting
will
from.
not fetch. Yes, it will go from the ascending order.
Okay. Okay.
All right. So fetch once you do that, just fetch only the first five records, and then I'll get a row count, and then you see, I'm just going to print their number. So how do I get that
Generate the number.
number? Okay. See.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So this is, but I said first five. According to your query, you had another condition saying that I want to fetch five to fifth to tenth record, right? You said like that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
but what will be the uniqueness? What is even the requirement in that? Is it just fetching the random numbers of records, or is it fetching the specific details in those records?
Like only the numbers, ticket numbers are from starting from in the order of it.
So I can do the created date, right? Created today I can give, right? If it has been
Yes. Yes.
created today, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That is the uniqueness in those records,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
right?
Again,
Now
we
if
need
you
to
give,
we are not add query created we need to
past
mention over
today's
there.
date, yeah, past today's date. But today, unfortunately, if there are 50 tickets created and if you are fetching only the 5 tickets, is it a correct query? No, right?
No. No.
Instead, you
No.
give created by today and give the date. See, your
Okay. Okay.
question was not wrong. My intention is,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
why will you need to have such a query, right?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Or what is the uniqueness in this query so that we can fetch those records only? I can fetch the records with state new. I can fetch with the records with short description as
Yes.
this.
Yes.
I
Yes.
can fetch the right that I mean like see whenever we are running a script
Like
we have to have the
only
we
instead of state we had taken as true.
hmm
Active as true. In that case, you need to take suppose short description equal to test or your state
yeah
equal to. Yeah.
yeah
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So those are the queries. I mean like see we are gliding into the table Mithun.
Yeah.
Any
Yeah. Yeah.
query that you give right, it's an additional filter.
Okay. Okay.
Additional
Yeah.
filter you put on those records that you fetch.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yes.
So that's why
Yeah.
add query, add query, add query, add query. And if you know all of those filter conditions, what is the best way you write a query method? That is your interview question. Mock.
Like,
If
can you repeat the question
I
again?
want to, I want to fetch act, active records, okay,
Okay.
with short description test and state in new. What is the best way to write a client record query?
We need to give the condition here, like
What conditions? Is it that I will write add query in this thing for three queries?
it will
Or
it will
I will
it will become three entries, if it is matching status as true
yeah
and a short description as test. If we are adding
yeah
multiple add queries, it will return all the three incidents, right? Like all the
yeah
three.
it'll yeah
Like
but
that, it
can
will
I
not take
say
combination, right? It will not take combination, right?
why will
Only if
it
you
not
want,
take it
like
would
if you
take
want to.
combination.
Okay, okay, okay.
It would take combination. I told you something called as encoded query.
Yes, 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 yes.
I do a show match on this query filter, this filter comes right,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then I'll bring active is true. So in within one, I'll create this encoded query in the object, and then I'll call that where is this
Yes,
active is true. So it's going to give five records, right? Short
yes,
description,
yes.
and state is new. Show match. So I can also do add query state is new, add query active is true. Okay, let me just do this. You know the enquiry query, right? Even then, if I do add query active is true, short description is test, state is new. If I find it's going to give me this. Instead, imagine there are 10 filters that you have to do. Are you going to say add query every time?
No, 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 it will take
No.
time.
Instead, what you do?
We need to write.
Query. Just copy paste the query. What is the query here?
Okay, we
How
need
you
to
copy
filter.
paste?
We need to. Okay, okay. query. Okay. Yeah.
Encoded query, I told you. Then one method you put.
Yes.
What is that method?
Encoded query.
Add encoded query, right? In there.
We
So
need to
my
pass.
variable has, yeah, my variable has this, right? I don't need this. Set limit I don't want. Query, find next, go throw on and print number. So it's going to give me this.
Yes.
Fair
Yes.
enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Instead of writing add query in 10 lines, imagine now we had only 3. What if we had 10 conditions? It's better to
We,
put it in an encoded query, right?
yes. 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 Yes.
So it's like that. Now
So
let's come back to, yeah.
in encoded query, we need to pass the filter conditions in the variable initially, right? So whenever we
Ah,
want
yes,
to.
yes, yes. You save the filter in the variable,
Yeah. 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 Okay. Okay.
right? You save the filter in the variable, and then in
We need to
add
pass the
encoded query, you
variable
are
initially.
putting this method. If
Yeah.
not, what will happen is you can directly also copy paste this add encoded query. Okay, like this. Now let me
Okay.
just
Okay.
comment this. This is the best practice of putting things in the variable. I mean, your encoded query is better. You have that in a variable stored and you pass that variable in the add encoded query. That is best
Okay.
method. That is one of the
Yeah.
ServiceNow's best method. When I say best method, it's not mine as per me. It is by ServiceNow. Okay.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So this could also be one of the interview questions. Like when you are writing things like a script, what will be the best methods that you would follow? Okay. So you can say
Yeah.
like this. See, still it gives,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
if you had 10 things and by mistakenly if you remove something somewhere, right, it's again a headache, right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay, so now let's go back to the integration. We somehow got off track. Okay, fine. Now I said this is the now, yeah, why we went into glide record is because this is object and this is
Yeah.
JSON,
Yes. Yes.
right?
Yes.
In object we have the table. I'll just put that in object, right? Just put it like this. In object we have the table data and table structure within that object. If you initiate a glide record query within this object, you'll have incident table structure and the table data. Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
Same wise in JSON, you will have details, only the data in type of string format. All right.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So whenever ServiceNow was sending the data to third party, it was not in object format. It was in JSON format.
Okay. Okay.
All right, like your JSON format will have, like, how it is going to be means, consider your incident record. Okay,
Okay.
incident record number is I'm just randomly putting this, so I just wanted to give you a structure how JSON will look. Okay,
Okay.
number will be like this. All right, and state will be like new, and short description will be like this. Okay.
Okay. It will be like continuous. Continuous. Right.
Exactly, it will be continuous. It is just a string that it is going to send out.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Then you put up some script in this thing and you do a comma separator. All right,
Okay.
concatenation if you remember.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So it will send out data like this. Then in the third party, it will decode all these data. Third party app, it is going to decode these details. All right.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Now, if next, so you have like I mean, ServiceNow provides interfaces that ServiceNow provides for integration with integration with third party app is that
Okay.
interfaces that's no, I'm just going to put it with third party app. Your Am I confusing anyway?
No. 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 No.
Interfaces that ServiceNow provides with third party app is email. Okay, you can have email integration. Yes, we did
Okay.
this. Didn't we do this?
Yes. 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 With
Inbound
Outlook.
email action.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Yes, email, right? So that's also an integration, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Next is SOAP. Okay, SOAP is obsolete. Nobody uses this now
Okay, okay,
much. Okay. Next would be your REST. Today we are going to learn about REST. Next is JDBC. I mean, you need to have some connections, like for JDBC integrations. All right.
okay,
And another one is JSON.
okay,
Okay. Now, today we'll learn REST. REST
okay,
will
okay.
work on. I'll just put this here. If you're getting confused anywhere, just stop me.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, 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 yeah.
REST is nothing but the full form of it is representational state transfer. Okay. It is a web service. It's a web-based integration, meaning to say it is going to work only with the URLs that starts from URL, okay? And
Okay, okay,
specifically it uses the HTTP method.
okay, okay.
All right. So the method that uses it is HTTP method. Are you aware of these methods, these protocols, HTTP and some other web protocols, HTTPS.
Yes, yes.
If you
Studied in
see
college level. After that, not having
college,
that much.
okay, HTTP, HTTPS.
Yes, 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 yes.
So HTTP means
It's a protocol, right?
it's a web-based protocol. If I say
Yes, yes.
HTTPS, it is Hyperstate Transfer Protocol Security. S stands for the
Yeah,
security. It's more
yeah.
secure.
Yes, yes. Yeah.
Alright, it's more secure. So it is web-based integration. I mean, like ServiceNow REST is web-based integration. Like what this offers is, it offers this is REST is one API. Okay.
Okay.
If I say API, are you aware of the APIs?
Application interface something.
Application interface. Okay, that was the full form. I'll give you a lame example. Don't laugh at me, but
Yeah,
that is the best example that I can give you. All right.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Um, okay, your book. Let me say. Let me take up a library example. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Okay. In library, you have all the books. Yes or no?
Yes, yes,
This is what? This is going to be backend. Okay.
okay.
And there is some librarian that gives you only a specific book and you request him for that book.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's say some snow book you are requesting. Okay. Okay. And
And we,
you are the person accessing it, reading the book. Okay.
yes, yes.
I'll go
Also,
to
we
the
need to have token for accessing that.
yes. So can I say library is backend? You are reading the book in front end. Okay.
Okay,
And your librarian is API, meaning to say this is the medium for you to access the backend application from front end.
okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
So can I say REST API is so can I now say that REST API will provide us or it would give us the methods how data and services could be accessed.
Yeah, yeah.
Meaning to say even to can I can I go up to the library and can I start saying him, hey, you give me that book? Is that a legit? I mean, like
No,
in layman terms, is that legit? So
no, no.
even when you are making use of APIs, you need to be aware of the methods that it provides, right?
Yes, yes,
And also the data that it gives you.
yes, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this REST API offers general rule how data and services are represented. Okay.
Okay, okay,
Using this, using this, any using which any third party applications app can access the data and sorry, third party app will directly access the data or will it send the request?
It will send the request.
It would send the request. It
Yes,
would send
yes,
the request. Yeah. So using this, it can make correct request and receive correct responses,
yes, yes. So using
right?
REST API methods, like third party app will connect, right?
Yes. I mean, even to call an API, I need to know the method that I need to send it in as a request, right?
Yes, 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 yes.
If I say, okay, I'm talking to you. Let's suppose you're the API, okay, and I'm a third party app. Can I
Okay.
say do this? There has to be a specific way to address you, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Just a second, Nathan.
yeah.
Can I say that? I mean, there has to be. See how I identify you. I identify you with your name, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
So likewise, if so, I mean, even a third party, if a third party has to send a request to ServiceNow through REST, it has to know the method that it has to call, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
So I mean, like this provides certain methods of how the third party can send response and receive send request and receive response. Now understood?
Yeah.
In REST methods, there are several methods how we. So one is get. Okay, there are five REST methods: get,
Okay, okay.
post, delete, and patch. See, get means it is going to get data from the resource, all right? Meaning to say, when I gave you an example of my integration that I did, would it be using get or what? Let me just put everything, then you can relate it. Put means it is going to update data at a source, at a resource, all right? And post means create data at a resource. Delete is going to delete the data at resource. And next is patches, partially update the data at resource. Following? Are you following this?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, now I gave you an example of the integration that I did earlier, right?
Yeah.
So, which method do you think out of this I would have used?
Get and post. Like initially, it is getting the data from the resource and it is creating the.
Give me one method. I cannot use two methods for one single integration. You're partially correct, but which is the exact method? I
Get
was
only.
doing a get. Yeah, I was doing a get. I was doing a get only because I just need to get the data from ServiceNow. I didn't have to do anything much beyond that,
Yeah, initially
right?
we need, and then we need to post it into third party application, right?
Yeah, so it is get method. So now
Yeah.
if I have to create, right, so now we are going to learn about one integration where we are creating a record.
And probably using this REST methods like get, like suppose we are having out of the, we had created some customized application,
Yes.
and whenever an incident is created in incident management,
Mm-hmm.
can we take that incident to be created in our customized form
Why will
with the
you
same
need? That
query?
is a different request management, right?
Yes, yes.
Asset is required for asset management. Incident is required for incident management.
Yeah,
Now
actually,
in the third party application, you should also have something similar to incident. Then it is going to create their
yeah,
request.
yeah, yeah.
If
Just
you
I want to
if
Just
Yeah.
I am comparing with my current instance. Like here we are using custom application in Remedy.
Yeah. Okay.
What the scenario they are doing is whenever an incident is created in incident management through catalog item,
Okay.
the same incident is getting reflected in our custom application so that everybody need not to access incident management module.
Okay. Then you are going to put the target as custom application only, right?
Yes, 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 yes. So
Target is
here
custom
they are using
application.
get and post only, right? Like they
Here
are
we
getting
will
the data
use
from incident module. They are getting the
only
data
one.
from. Okay, okay, okay.
No, only one type of integration will be used, right? And if I'm fetching get, there I will get data from source. If I'm putting a post method, there I'm going to create the record. So you cannot, in get method itself, you cannot even include the post method. You have to explicitly create another method for it.
Okay, okay, okay. So it will be get method only, right? The scenario which I have told you.
To get the
Get and
data,
post.
it would be get method. But to create the data, would it be get method or post method?
It will be post.
Post. Yes. It would be post.
At the end of the
Alright.
session, I will show you the scenario which I'm telling you so that we can relate it.
See, Midun, one thing
Yeah,
is
yeah,
you have web services, okay? You create web services, and in
yeah.
those web services, you will have different methods. All
Okay,
right.
okay,
So
okay,
one of those methods that we are going to create today in our session, we will create data from third party application. Now,
okay,
as
okay.
per your, I understood your requirement. As per your requirement, that you have to fetch the data from third party application, like whatever were there, and you
Yeah,
had
yeah.
to even create the things, right?
Yes, 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 yes.
So in the web service, once you create one web service, in that you will have one method called as get. It would run, right? You will provide the target and source, those
Okay, okay.
tables. You have a scripts running, you have a transform apps running there. There would
Okay.
also be another method called as post you would create, and then you are going to create data at the service now instance, right?
Yes, yes, yes,
In
yes.
within the get itself you cannot create a post. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah.
why do you,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
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 you
got it.
understood me, right?
Yeah, yeah. Once we
Okay, okay.
complete the get method, then only we can
Yes,
create another.
yes, yes,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
correct.
Got it, got it.
Create another method. So now in our session today, we will create an incident using the third party application, because I had access to third party application called as this one, okay? And we are
Okay.
doing this. Let me just refresh. I was
Yeah,
trying before, I was giving you all the heads up so that I didn't want it to get stuck. All right. Now,
yeah, yeah.
let me completely close this and access this once.
Okay.
First is, okay, first we'll go to the integration. Within there we'll do, and when we are creating from third party, then I'll take it. So it will be easy to relate, okay? Now,
Okay, okay.
now in incident, what is the method that I would use? I would use
We need to get the details
get.
here. And,
Yeah. So under web services, I have something called as inbound, right? You'll have inbound and outbound.
okay,
So I'm going to create incident from third party application. What type of integration is that?
okay.
What type of integration? Inbound or outbound?
It's inbound only.
Inbound. So I'll create new. Okay. Now, before creating new, see, I mean, like, there has to be certain details that even the third party app admin should give, right?
Yeah.
Before creating the incident, yes or no? I mean, there has
Yes,
to be certain details from the third party app even to create an incident, right?
yes, 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 yes.
So in my case, I will consider caller, short description, and state. State should be new. Okay, while creating record.
Okay,
All right. So
okay.
these are the mandate details, at least the bare minimum mandate details that we need to have.
Yeah, yeah.
Or even if you want, we can put a category. All right. Now
Okay,
I'm going to create one web service. Let me say create incident using Postman. Okay. Okay.
okay,
This is the integration. I mean web service that I'm creating. All right.
okay.
Now, I mean web service that I'm creating means I'm creating a path for our Postman to integrate with our instance.
Yes, yes.
Right. So name is this, and what will be the target?
Incident table. We are implementing an incident table.
Yeah. Now, okay, fine. Before that, I said that I wanted few details, right? Like
Mandatory. Yes, yes.
caller, short description, and state,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
let's create that as well. Meaning to say, web services field means before our postman sends data to ServiceNow, right? Like transform map, if you remember, it was not directly getting stored in the target table. It was getting stored in the staging table,
Yes, yes, yes.
right?
Yeah,
Likewise, any third party application that is going to send data, that's why I wanted to create, I mean, like take it through transform map and then integration at the last, because everything we would have covered, we have covered so far, so it will be easy to understand, right?
yeah, yeah.
Now, if you send data from Postman directly, it is not going to create a record in the incident directly. It is going to create a record first here,
Okay, okay.
and then it is sent to incident table.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So here, what are the details that we needed? We needed,
Requested
so
state.
along with this table that gets created. So this is a table that we are newly get created. Okay, once we create a web service, all right. So along with this table, created by, updated by, everything will be this. But we will need also the details pertaining to our incident, right? So I'll put requester, and what else
State
we
as
need?
well.
Short
State.
description
Yeah,
and state. Meaning to say even these fields have to get created along with this table. So the
yeah,
requested default value is 40, alright. Short description, can I make it to medium?
yeah, yeah.
And state, can I make it to, no, this is default, let it be 40 only. Because we don't have anything, I mean, new, hardly
Yes,
it
yes.
will be one or new is the choice, backend choice, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm going to, let me create it. Okay, the moment you create, it will take you to a transform map, just like the transform map that you had earlier.
Okay, okay.
Right now here source table is this table got created, right?
Yeah,
Target table is this, fine. Active run business rules means if there has to be any business rule that should run before the insert in incident,
okay.
right? Those things. And enforce mandatory field, this is the data policy. Remember I told you enforce mandatory field, meaning to say in any integration I'm creating now from Postman, we are creating, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
We are creating, right? Enforce mandatory field in any integration. Now I'm inserting a record in incident table, right?
Okay, okay.
Now, if we don't have this caller and short description because they are mandatory fields,
Yes, yes, yes.
if I don't have this value, it is not going to create the record.
Yes, yes, yes.
So that's why that is data policy. Remember, data policy and UI policy difference is this. That's an interview question again. Data policy will work when there are any integrations happening outside of ServiceNow and it is coming to ServiceNow, and we check if there is any mandate value, and on basis of that it is going to take a call. And UI policy to make a field mandate read only and visible on the form level,
Yeah, yeah.
right? So this is data policy. Meaning to
So,
say I'm sending data from third party to ServiceNow, right?
yes, yes, yes.
I'm also meanwhile checking if the data has mandatory fields that where it has to get mapped. So that's data policy,
Okay.
right? If I'm at the form level, if I'm making a field mandate read only and visible, that is,
In the form level, it
you,
is web policy.
yes, that is your policy, right? Now
Only
run
here,
script, yes.
here we are taking the details from incident management, incident, and we are passing to Postman, or we are
You will
taking
see
from.
that one by, we'll take one at a step. You will see that.
Yeah,
First,
yeah,
we'll
yeah,
create transformer. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
we'll create transformer. Now, run script means if I want any script to run before the integration. In my case, as of now, no, I don't want anything. All right.
yeah. Okay,
So I'm just doing run script and I'm just submitting this.
okay.
Once you submit, right, under web services, under inbound integrations, you will see the web service that you just created. Now, We created create incident using Postman. See, this is the
Yeah,
web
yeah,
service that we created, right? It will
yeah.
get created. Fine. Now, what happens is that this is the transform map that got created along with this. All right.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, if you remember it in transform map, we did something called as mapping,
Yeah,
auto
yeah,
mapping. So
yeah,
we
yeah.
will do mapping assist. Okay. Which field from the staging table should get mapped with which field in the incident table? So
Okay,
for us,
okay.
I'm getting all those three fields that I needed: requested, short description,
State,
state. Here, where should I map it? In incident, what is the requested?
caller,
Caller. Short description,
for description and state.
state, right? Am I confusing anything? Are you
No,
able to
no, no,
follow?
no. Yeah, yeah, no issue. Yeah, not having any.
Then short description and
State
state.
equals state.
Right. We are saving this, all right?
Yeah,
Now, so we've done this. Everything is fine, right? Now, we have to test before we integrate with anything with third party. We have to test that whatever we did within the service now itself to test, right?
yes,
Yes or
yes.
no?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, right? Yeah. So there
yeah.
is something called as explore REST API. Okay, means
Okay,
this is an API. This is the functionality provided by ServiceNow to test the methods that we have created.
okay.
All right. Now, what is the method that I'm going to use from third party? It is going to be post.
Yes, yes.
Yes or no? Along with this, see, it took the URL, right?
Yeah.
Instance URL. Along with that, it took API is
Yeah.
ServiceNow, okay? And then it took an import, meaning to
Okay.
say it is taking this table, all
Input,
right?
mapping table.
Import, yes. And here, if you see, here it is saying staging table. Staging table means which table will be there?
You underscore
This,
the one we had. Yeah.
this one, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah. That one only.
This is going to be the staging table, meaning to
Yes,
say
yes.
it is going to store the data. Once it fetches the data from the third party, it is going to store the data in here, meaning to say this is the URL, right? It is
Yes,
like
yes.
a path, correct? It's a
Yeah,
path,
yeah, yeah.
right? It has given us a path now. Now, what should be our next step? We have to test,
Yes,
right? Now, let's see whatever we have enabled is working fine or not. Now we have how many? We have 80 incident, right?
yeah.
We need to have the 81st record using the test. Okay, let's see now. So this is a staging table. So we need to add a parameter, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
What should be the parameter?
State equal to new.
Requester. Requester.
Yeah. Yes.
So can we say
Caller.
caller is what should be the caller? I don't have your name. I'll put my name, okay? Because I don't have your user ID, user record
Yeah.
created in my instance. And what will be the short description?
Test API something.
Check the parameters 1 second. No, 1 second. Any conditions? Let's say this is test. Okay. This is the staging table. Here is the parameter that I'm giving.
And state is
And
equal to state.
yeah. No, why it should give me it's this thing. Let's create this one first. I'm going to send it first. Meaning to say that in while I am creating this in from the staging table, I'll have to create a record in incident table, right? And these are the parameters that I have passed. Okay.
Okay.
Now, along with this, what should be the request format? I told you it's JSON only.
Yes.
In REST,
Yes.
in JSON only. XML means, if you remember, we were migrating the update sets. Is that the
Yes.
way the
Okay.
service now will receive request and send response? No, right? It is going to
No.
be a different way. So that's always
Hmm.
application JSON. And authorization is this. Okay, now I am going to send. Okay, if you remember, do you know the status codes like 200, 201, 400, HTTP status codes?
Uh, no calling. No, I think.
401 means it's the error that you remember.
Yeah.
Page
Yeah.
not
For
found.
sure.
All of those
Yeah. Yeah.
things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Likewise, 200 will have some error code. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So these are the status codes. Okay. Now,
Okay. Okay.
200 is status code. 201 means created. 200 means it would say, uh, like, if there is one request body that you would have sent the request, right? Okay. But
Okay.
along with that, from the third party, you wouldn't have sent the data. Like for short
Okay.
description, I said test, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
In the request, you would have sent you wouldn't have sent data for short description. In that case, it will create a 200 error. Okay, meaning to
Okay.
say, it would say there was no error in your request. All right, there was no error in your request, but you haven't provided the data. That's 200.
Okay.
Okay, now if you go to Google, you can see HTTP status methods. You will have plenty of them.
And
HTTP.
again, the error codes will be an interview question or something like they will ask something like this or
No. It will be standard.
yeah, yeah,
It will be standard. See, you have so many error codes like 200, 400, client errors, server errors, 500. Sometimes, if you remember, if you do, you see that server not found, or
yes, yes,
those are the error codes. Okay. Now,
okay,
it has created. Let's see what it has created. Now, once you send the request, it says execution time is this. Status code means record has been created. All right.
yes, yes, yes,
Then this is the response body. This is the way, if I was doing if the service now was sending data to a third party. Remember, in
yeah,
my information
yeah, yeah,
example,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
this
yeah.
is how it will have sent the details.
Okay,
All right, here it
yeah,
is like this, but it is going to concatenate everything. Do you see the comma, comma, comma after everything?
yes, yes, yes,
So it is going to just send away like this. Means it is just going to push it in JSON format. There you have to fetch the details like transform map means this, table means this, number means this, status means this, value if along with the number if I put some status or short description means that. This is
okay,
how it would have sent the response body. Okay,
okay,
now
okay.
let's see if it has created a record here. Following confusing.
No, no, no.
Now let's see it has created what. So it has created this record and caller, short
Call,
description,
caller, it does not paste and short
status new. Yeah, we did something. So let's see. That's why I was saying it had to give us a query method. Let's do a run test again. Okay.
Now, initially we had taken get method and
Now we did a post method only, right?
yeah, yeah. Now we did the post method only.
We didn't do a get method. We didn't. We means post is what I want to create a record, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So here, let's 1 second. I had a way of creating the parameters. Just a second. So see, I'm using post method only. Create a record in an input set staging table, right? So it had created, but here I have to specify the condition. Why it is not querying? If you see, it has to give us the values, right? Requested state and all of those values.
Yeah.
One second, I'm just seeing that. Now latest this. Yeah. Here was my query parameters and staging table I did. Fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I inserted the record in the incident table. I just
Yes.
want to
Yes.
go and see in this table what are the details that we have. Just a second. Dot list. Meaning to say the details that I gave for requester and the other thing, na, it would have sat here because I did the I passed the parameters in this table, not in the incident table. Just a second. It's empty. Right. Now in REST API, let me add a parameter here. Okay,
Okay.
in builder, meaning to say
Okay.
in incident I'm going to create, right? What would be the first one?
Requester.
Requester,
Caller.
requester.
Okay. Requester. Okay.
Okay, okay. I'll put. But if I give you a name and it doesn't have a user record, what will be the default value that it would pick?
Like record cannot be created, right? Again.
No, no, no. It would be created, but in name of what? That day you guessed it right. In name of guest.
Okay. 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 Okay.
Guest user. It is going to
Yeah.
take
Yeah.
guest user. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So here, let me put my name. All right. See, this is the body it is creating. Request body.
Yes. Yes.
If you see
Okay.
right under here, right?
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
one more condition. What would be it?
Short description.
Can I say using REST API Explorer? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we will get to know when we are creating from uh, what is that? Postman. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And another value
State.
with
Pro. One.
one is new, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. This is the request body.
Okay.
Fine. Now if I give a send, here I was giving because it was getting mapped here and not on the incident. Now the request body, if I give here, what is it going to do? It is
It
going to
will
map
be
or no?
created. Yeah. Yeah.
It would map, right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So the moment you said requested and value, can I say these are column and values?
Yes.
Column and value. Again,
Yeah.
column
Yeah.
and value, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Now, what is the state and why is it taking the state? Okay, sys import state is one. Fine. Now I'm going to send. Let's see if it's creating. It created, right?
Yeah.
Let's see the value.
Yeah. It's created.
Now,
Yes. Yes.
short description, state. Fine.
Yes. 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 Yeah. Yeah.
Now we did. Now it is working fine.
Yeah.
Now we have to provide some details for the third party admin, right?
Okay.
Right means how they
Yes.
have to send the request, the format of sending the request.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And what was another prerequisite? These are the prerequisites, right, for integrations.
Yeah.
And what are the another prerequisites? If we think, shouldn't we send them the URL of how they should access or where they should post it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Along with
Yeah.
that, we should send them the. I mean, like, if this is the user, along with them, we should also send them the authorization, right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Now we'll go to the. Remember, this is the postman that I'm doing. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, what's wrong with this? Mm, working all till now. Okay, I'll reinstall this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, start. I'm thinking I'm going to uninstall, but let me just launch it from the this thing. 1 second. Seems that I need to install. Just 2 minutes, Mithun.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Fine. Then see, you go to any Postman web app, just click on the download. You will have an exe okay setup.
Yeah, yeah.
Just install that, and I'm just going to install this. So it would create all your prerequisites. Now here, I how I had created the whenever you are testing using the Postman, you shouldn't get confused. Let me just delete all of these things. Okay.
Okay.
Discard changes. Okay. Now you need to have one method, right? What is the
Yes.
method? I told you using HTTPS only we are going to request, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So there I create the HTTPS. Then what should be the method?
Post
We are
here.
creating a record. Yeah. So post method,
Yes.
right? Now enter the request URL, meaning to say any admin that sends the request to ServiceNow in order to create a request, he should have this endpoint.
Yes, yes, yes. So in
This
real
end
time, in real time, we need to share the URL, right? This URL.
Yes, without the endpoint, remember no integration is going to work.
Okay, okay,
Without the endpoint. So since it is inbound, you are going to give the endpoint to them. What if
okay.
it was an outbound integration? You should have fetched the endpoint from them, right?
Yes, yes.
Correct.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I'm going to copy paste this here in the this thing. But along with that, I have done a mistake. What is that? Staging name, table name.
So we need to mention the name of the table which we had
Yes,
created.
yes. This is the table, right?
Okay,
So we create it here. And now this is the postman. Okay, right. We provided the URL.
okay,
Authentication, authorization. Here I'm giving the basic auth. I'm not giving OAuth.
okay,
Because from system I'm not regenerating this. Since I am the admin, I'm doing this Mithun. I'm
okay.
providing my admin and credentials. But for a third party admin, would you provide your admin credentials or
No.
would you create a new user record for them, provide the role, and then their user ID and password?
Yes, yes, yes.
Right? Remember that. That is the major mistake everyone does. Don't provide your admin credentials from the instance to the third party app admin. Create a
Okay,
user record explicitly for them.
okay, okay,
All right. So there you
okay,
do. Okay. Now this is the OAuth that I did. And in headers, there has to be one content type. I told you right that it has to send out like JSON.
yes, yes, yes.
So when you type JSON content type, you are going to put application JSON.
Okay,
All right. Now Now in the body, what is the request body? How are you going to send? I'm just giving the type as raw because I'm going to send, this is the request body. Standard format is this request body. In order for me to request you something, there has to be a set of predefined standards that I need to follow, right? I cannot
Yes.
use any random stuff.
Yeah.
Same way with the web app also, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So this is the request body and it is going to be raw. Always it is going to be raw, not binary, graph, form, data, nothing. In
Okay.
REST integration, the request body will be raw.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, then you give them this format.
Okay.
All right.
So,
You tell
like
the third
they
party.
need to
Yeah,
modify the data like username, short description, and
exactly. Yes.
okay.
Do you think they are going to modify this?
No, no, no. That can't be.
What they'll
They
modify?
only user
The
data like username and
yeah.
all.
Yes. This is the detail that they will modify. Okay,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
not this. So this will be the
Okay.
standard. This request body will never ever change in the
Okay.
integration. They have to put the standard defined. So this will remain the column name and this will remain the data.
Okay.
Right
And
now, yeah.
only in real time, how it will be like in real time if you are integrating with a third party application instead of
This is
Postman.
how it is going to be. You are going to send. Don't put in Postman is for a demo purpose. This is the, let's think that this is the random this thing. This is how it is going to be. You are going to create even the request body for them and send, give them.
Okay.
So whenever they are making request to ServiceNow, right, they have to follow this method only. Meaning to say they have to provide their authentication, username and password. They will hit a URL within. That is this URL they are going to hit. All right.
So in real time also they will use Postman application to provide the tickets or
No, they are
something.
going to do from third party. So anyone tomorrow, if you're using Jira, they'll use Jira, right? But the
Yes.
method they
Yes.
use is going to be post. So they
Okay.
will
Okay.
hit this URL. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
The
They will
moment they hit,
access this URL and they will enter the details in that URL and it will
yes, yes, yes.
fetch.
The moment they hit this URL, they will be authenticated. They need to authenticate themselves. That is the second step,
Okay. Okay. Okay.
right? So
Yeah.
they will have to enter their user ID and password what you have provided, not your admin, right?
Yes.
Since
Yes. They
this is
have to
my
provide.
instance, I'm using this. Yeah, we have
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
provide them, right? The integration also, if they say, I mean, this is the best practices that you need to follow, correct?
Yeah. Again,
Yeah.
for that URL, we need to maintain their user accounts also, right?
Where are you maintaining their user accounts in your record? Are you going to create 100 of user records? One only.
Okay. Like we need to create a user account for them and they will use that particular
Yes,
user.
yes,
Okay.
yes. So
Okay.
tomorrow let me consider you are my third party app owner, okay, admin. So I will
Okay.
create a record for Midun and also I'm going to create a password for him. Meaning to
Okay.
say, the moment he hits this URL, he has to provide these credentials. If he fails to do this or if the password was mismatched, it is a failed integration. It would be a
Yeah.
bad request.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So the header became and the request body also you have to follow this only. You cannot
Okay.
change it. Only the data in this you can change.
Okay.
Okay, you cannot change anything apart from this. Only the data has to be only the data has to be changed. I mean, like, you cannot go about creating the same request on and on, right? Only the data will get different, right? So in
Yes.
this
Yes.
case I'm going to put Midun. Since I don't have your user record, what I'm going to do is, let me put up
Able tutor.
let me just sorry.
Able tutor. Able tutor.
No, I just create a guess. ABC. Anyways, we go back to the basic standards, right? Okay. Use short description. I'm going to set this using Postman. Yeah.
Okay.
Confusing. Anywhere it is
No, no.
confusing, just let me.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Using Postman integration. So import set access import status one. Fine. New, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Tomorrow, if it changes to, it is going to set in progress.
Yes. Yes.
There are certain details that they also need to take care of, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So we need to educate them. So they will give you like what has to be the thing, and you, this has to be the details, this has to be the prerequisites. When the third party app is integrated with Snow, what are the details that it has to They will provide. So you have to provide the specific response body for them and give. Say your
Okay.
third party app admin, this is the request body. Once you authenticate yourself, you hit this URL. URL means endpoint.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, you will get to hear endpoint, endpoint, endpoint everywhere. It's the URL. Fine, it's
Okay.
a path. Then you
Okay.
authenticate, and this is the request body that you create. Now I'm going to send. Let's see. It's sending request. All right. It created this record. Let's see if it has uh, done. Too much information.
Like in SOAP also, it will be the same, right? We will provide in it will be in XML something
Yes,
like.
it will be WSDL.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
WSDL. There you
Yes. Yes.
define the path.
Yes.
Yeah.
On that also, we will provide an user ID and password, a
Yes.
single user and password.
Yes.
Whatever the
Yes.
details we need to edit, there we need to edit.
Because otherwise, how will I know you are the
Yes.
legit
Yes. Yes.
source?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, see, it has created, and this is the state. All right. Now,
Yeah.
one more scenario I will do without providing the value. We'll see. See here, it gives status code as 201 it created. All right. Let's
Okay.
try creating a 200.
Okay.
Okay. Meaning to say, I'm not providing the state. Okay. Control C, Control C. Okay. I'm not providing the state value.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right. Uh, let's see what it is. One second. Oh my God. Here. Okay. Or if I'm not going to put short description, and I'm not going to put this one. Okay. Now we will create another request. It gives. Okay. 200, 200. Fine.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
It has created. Why it has created? Though these are mandatory fields, why it has created? Because when
It
we
has.
created the transform of script, remember we never did any enforcing, like
Yes. Yes.
enforce on mandatory fields. So that's why
Yeah.
it
We had
created.
disabled it. We had
Yeah,
disabled.
if we had enabled it, then it wouldn't have created a record.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Now let's try changing the. Here I'll put Postman. Let's try changing the request body. See, in every way, in order to understand, mess up with everything. In every aspect, learn to see what's happening, what's not happening. Here, short description I'm taking away. Okay, the backend value. All
Okay.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now let's see. It has created. But do you think it would have mapped the short description? 28
No.
is the record.
No. No.
Just a second. Yes. See,
Yeah. It missed the short description.
short descriptions. So that's about integration. Now, if you want to do a get or post, you can do using Postman. Yeah.
Yeah.
Means because you will not have any API with you at the moment, right? Any
Yes.
other third party. So this is one of the best ways to do. This is how you do the REST integrations.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So here we done
Now,
initially we get the data from incident table and we had posted using.
so we did get method. Sorry, we did post method.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
We did post method. Now you do an outbound integration and do a get method. Means send out the data from ServiceNow to Postman. You see how
Okay.
it is going to come. Same thing.
Yeah.
It you will create outbound and then you will provide the instance URL. The moment it hits, the moment you hit the URL from Postman and authenticate, it the ServiceNow will authenticate your request and it will process the data and it will send back to you. Right?
Like if you are giving outbound, right? We need after processing the data from ServiceNow, we are getting the response, something like response, right? To
Yes.
Postman.
Yeah. You will get response to Postman. Here you will get. Here itself you will get the
Okay.
status
Okay.
and the
Like
response.
like
See
body
this.
we will get, right? Like the body
Yes,
we will.
body. Yeah, body you will need to set. Like how
Okay.
you have to request. Right?
Okay. Okay.
You try this. If you're stuck, maybe tomorrow we can discuss. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. For sure.
yeah,
And
and
Tony, like
yes.
in my environment, I am using SOAP integration. My work is to do like the content will be there. Only I
Hmm.
need to change the fields over there whenever I am creating some customer and all. Using
So you
SOAP, I
what
will
you will do? You will do patch, right?
not patch. Not that. Like I will do only modifications in the existing
Yeah, but in
WSDL.
REST, I'm comparing that to REST.
Yes, yes.
There you are using SOAP, but here I'm using REST method, right? So the API call also will be different, correct?
Okay, okay.
So if you're matching that scenario, which is the method that you would use? I would use
I mean,
Fetch
okay, okay.
because
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
doing a partial update only. I'm not updating the entire stuff.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Specific update only, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. So with
And
this, yes,
for any
madam.
application, best API will be the same scenario, right?
Yeah, it would be the same scenario. This is how you would send and process the request.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
if you, I mean, like, you're getting tense. I know. I from your point of view, I can purely understand. But
Yesterday
this
I
is
had,
how
yeah,
you would send.
on weekend I started like remedy development videos. Like I'm having some collection of development remedy development.
Okay.
Like after learning this, like after going through ServiceNow development course, like it will be like most of the like scenarios are relatable over there. Also having client scripts and server
Yeah,
side.
exactly. Because see, that's how because the business process is not going to change. The
Yes, 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 yes.
platform that you use is changing, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Why
yeah.
BMC remedy got stuck is because it never went above some management. Like
Yes, yes.
now these things, service now is into every aspect.
Yeah, yeah,
Customer service management, HR
yeah.
management, discovery, what else, and then we have software asset management. It
Yes,
is
yes, yes.
going on, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I
And
mean, like
also
every yeah.
when compared to ServiceNow, like BMC remedy licensing and Explorer is very much difficult to learn something. If I want to get some information on and to learn something, it is not open source.
Yeah, it is not open source, but that is what that is. There is the catch. These guys are providing us the PDI, right?
Yes, yes. This is the one of the main advantage. Like
Yeah,
we are
there is
getting
the
open.
catch. They are
Yes, yes,
providing us the PDI, like go break it and do whatever you want to do.
yes,
And
yes,
this
yes,
is
yes.
also is an open source because we have docs, and it
Yeah,
also has community where if you get stuck, you are able to do. So in a way, everybody can learn, right? At least
yes, yes, yes,
with basic javascript knowledge you can learn. It's not that it's a rocket science, like since the beginning I was telling you.
yes,
And
yes,
why
yes,
these people are growing is because they are not stopping, they are not settling. They want to get everything into this platform.
yes, yes.
Tomorrow if you are ordering let's
And
say this is going to
and
happen
Pavni,
tomorrow. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Tell me.
Yes, madam.
Like I had seen some job postings where they are mentioning Angular JS and all those steps for development. Is it so necessary?
That will come me, that is only used in portal, service portal widgets,
Okay, okay, okay,
extensive
okay,
widgets.
okay, okay,
Extensive widgets. Even I am not that well versed. To be very honest, I am not that well versed in AngularJS, but still I have worked on both.
okay, okay,
Okay, it will be manageable. So don't
okay.
worry. I mean, like, see, people what they think is with what they don't know. They think only that is there in ServiceNow, and that is where I'm going to lag, and then they don't want to pick. You have plenty of stuff that's happening in ServiceNow.
Yes, yes, yes.
Not everyone will know everything. It's also not necessary that everyone has to know everything at the same time.
Yeah, yeah,
Even
yeah,
there are some topics even I wouldn't know, but there are some topics even you would know, right?
yeah, yeah,
That
yeah,
depends on the exposure you are put to.
yeah,
But
yeah.
that's why I was saying we will learn the functionality first, then whatever it is. Now you know how to create a workflow in incident, problem, change, custom app everywhere.
Yes, yes.
So you need to learn the functionality, and you will learn any module.
And if you are creating a workflow in incident, and how we can attach that to incident management something.
If there is an incident, I mean workflow in incident form, right there you can attach it.
And if you are maintaining multiple customers, how we can separate the data? Like
How
again,
will you maintain multiple customers? Is your client instance shared?
no.
Then client instance is not shared, right?
Yes, 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 yes.
Maybe
Like in
on
case,
basis of category you can have different workflow, but there you will write how it is going to get attached. But you don't have multiple clients, yes or no?
yes, yes, yes. And Pavani, like, what will be the answers to the like? Have you worked on incident management? This type of thing. whether we need to tell them like we had modified some, added some custom fields and all like this, or is there any part to be done in
Part to
those
be done in 6 months.
in those modules like ITL modules, incident change and problem? Is there any part
Yes,
to be done
incident, I told you,
programming?
right? Out of the box, your application comes in, right? In the
Yes, yes, yes.
instance. So out of the box, when an application comes, your client will give you stories saying that these are the short descriptions that sorry, these are the categories that I need to have. Along with
Okay.
these categories, these are the subcategories. So that goes what? Your dependent values.
Yes, yes, yes.
You are
Correct.
mapping the subcategory choices and the
Yeah.
notification contents and the workflow. If they will say my workflow has to be different, then you will configure the workflow.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then in incident record, they say you have please have a custom field where resolved at time. Okay, if you're having resolved at time, meaning to say when the state goes to resolved, it has to capture that time. So what you will do, you'll create a field. Along with that, you will write an after update business rule, right? That if state
Yes.
goes to resolve, you capture that time in that specific field. So that's an after update,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And in your change approval again. So the approval, how the approval has to take it, should it have multiple levels of approval? So approval after approval, approval after approval. So if let's suppose your manager, one manager has this approval, okay, like change request. Okay, you'll do out of the box only. We'll see if it's working fine or not. Then they will have three levels of approvals, right? They will say they have three levels of approval. Like first, if the change is initiated, first change is
First
initiated.
level, second level. Okay.
A first level approval will be manager, okay. Request as manager, okay. Then second, if he approves, it should be approved by cab,
Okay.
change authority board. This is the
Yeah.
group
Yeah.
that's there in the thing.
Yes. Yes.
Then if they approve, third level approval will be come from some stakeholder, let's believe.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
How are you going to achieve this? In workflow, you will check the workflow. We'll put first approval, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
There approval is user or group.
User only.
Approval user first level, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that action is approval action, approval user action. Then if it takes a yes path, it is going here, but here it would be approval user or approval group.
Group of
Yeah.
members.
If it is a yes path, then it is you're going to take third, right?
Yes.
Approval action. If it's a no path, end,
Yes. Yes. And the change
right?
should be edited. Yes.
Yes. Problem also same, Mithun. Problem also same. Like, this
Like
since this is
if we practice one workflow like then it will be easier for designing any other, right?
yes, that's what I'm
We are
saying.
able to,
That's
if
why
we are
that day
able
I
to.
considered several script workflows, so
Yes.
it'll
Yes.
be
Yes.
looking better for you. I could have
Yeah.
randomly created a record and I could have said, okay, fine, see, workflow is working, but I didn't want it to do that. How you will fetch the value? What are the other steps that you need to do? All of those things you should be aware, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
there also they'll say the notification content has to change. Those things are there, and the
Okay.
UI policies, right? UI
Yeah.
actions.
Yeah.
So those things you're aware, right? So that's why I didn't do much in the incident is because you should do everything from scratch. Then only you'll be able to relate what's there in the
Yeah. Yeah.
incident
Yeah.
also,
Yes. Yes.
right?
Yes.
The mistake that I did when I learned ServiceNow is that I learned only incident problem change. And even if I knew how to write a UI action, I was not familiar of how to write it in a custom app. So I stood there, so that's why I understood what is the best way to put. That's why I took up the custom app.
Oh.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
your end to end you have learned. Like a
Yes. Yes.
process
Yes.
completely you have learned from scratch. From table creation to everything you have learned, right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
How so most of the times people will not be even be aware of how they will create the table. So that's a blunder, correct? What you have
Yes.
learned
Yes.
is waste, right?
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
why
Yeah.
I created from scratch. So end to end we have learned. Now we know how to manipulate things.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So yes. So yes, Mithun, with this we come to end of the session. So is that I mean like how did you feel the session is? Do you have any feedback from me or anything?
Like the session is very interesting. Like not having any cons to suggest you.
Sorry, I didn't get you.
Like session is very interactive and very interestable and not having any cons to suggest you. Where
No, no, no. Be open. That's okay. I mean, wherever
yeah,
you
yeah,
thought I could improve, just give me an honest feedback. No, because I mean, like, I wanted to make in a way where people can interact and learn, not just
yes,
like
yes,
one
yes.
way. I tell and only you guys listen to it. It will be like, tomorrow
Yeah,
if I say create tables, will you create? Create a custom app, will you create?
yes, yes, yes. No doubt in
Uh,
that.
okay, tomorrow what I'll do is I'll create your CV. Along with it, I'll create a story. Like,
Okay.
for a custom app that I build, I'll create a story like where you have to do. Again, when you are building, you will be able to relate things. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
try
yeah,
fetching that. So
yeah.
yes, Nitin, you can give me your honest feedback. How was it? I mean, like, you were very able to understand anything that went above and over your head.
No, Pavani, like not having that much doubts and all. Like every session is very interactive and very clear, like very understandable. And only like after if I practice some scripting and all, I will get
Yes,
some confidence in it. Like I am familiar. I got familiar by seeing this. It's like a glide record. I am familiar with the syntax of the glide record, like how to write and all.
right. So yeah, I mean, like, if at times you felt I was nagging, that's because I wanted to put that glide record thing. That's the basic thing that we do.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
want
yeah.
to put that in your mind. So whenever you
Yes.
go for an interview, you should not get stuck with the basic stuffs.
And
So
in interviews, like, will they ask her to write a code along with that?
that depends on the interviewer, Mithun.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Only
Like,
if at all they are asking you code, you know what they'll ask the glide record query only.
okay, okay, okay.
Because that's very basic. That's the one
Yes,
of
yes,
the
yes.
basic API that you use over and over and over and over in
And
instance.
yeah, today I had attended a development interview, right? It is
Mm-hmm.
like quite like not that much difficult. Like I don't have uh, exposure to development so far. I had seen only videos from the MC talks and all in the last 2 days. I got some overviews and I had noted down some of the overviews. Only
Uh-huh.
thing he asked like, what is the difference between these and these, and what are the types of forms, types of menus, these type of only like. And
Yes.
after answering this, like they had like interviewer had gone into scenarios like, can you run client side scripting after updating the records, like those scenarios like she had mentioned. Uh,
Okay. Okay. So that's for the BMC remedy or service now that you went?
it is for BMC remedy only.
BMC remedy.
Like whatever the opening that is going for BMC remedy, it is almost for developer only. Not
Okay.
getting
Okay.
much opportunities for administrator these days.
Okay. Okay.
Even they
Okay.
say administrator, they will ask like development related things.
Okay. Okay. Fine. But I mean, now you'll be able to practice, right? I mean, it's not.
Yes, yes, yes.
Um,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. From tomorrow onwards, I will start practicing.
Practice and pick one query, at least one query you pick and write, no matter
Yeah,
what.
yeah,
Let people
yeah,
think whatever it is one, because I don't lose the touch.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Sure,
don't
sure.
lose the touch. Okay, so okay, anyways, all the best, Mithun. Tomorrow we will connect at 9 p.m. 9 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. One mock will
Yeah,
conduct
yeah, yeah,
and we'll see. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, any feedback, any negative points? I mean, like, not negative. I would say any feedback where you think I could have improved.
No, Pawni, like I didn't find any in areas or topics where you could improve yourself. Like the teaching is very understandable. Like initially, before your classes, we had attended one more trainer.
Hmm.
I'm speaking openly. Like I had attended nearly 3 to 4 classes. I
Okay.
didn't understand a single topic what the trainer is teaching. But after attending 3 classes, and it is not interactive also, and it is very quite not understandable and not reaching to the levels of what the trainer is uh, teaching. After that, I had asked them, like they had shared me a demo. I guess it is of yours only, I guess.
Okay.
I requested them to I want this particular trainer only.
Okay. Okay. Okay, Mithun. So, I mean, it depends. I mean, like, so that's what I was. If at all you felt there were places that I was nagging, because these were the hurdles that I went through. So I just
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
want you guys to go through. So that's why I went on nagging, like learn, write, record, query. I went on
yeah.
stressing.
Even if
Yeah,
it
I
is,
felt that.
even if
Yeah.
it is, like if it, even if it is very fast on, also we didn't catch that much, right? Like for every 10-15 minutes, we will lose the continuity. Like if the session is going very fast, also we cannot catch the things what is
Yeah.
going on.
And that's what I mean. Like, if I felt I was stressing, like, there are times I've told you I stressed you, like, learn glide record query, learn that, learn
Yeah,
this. I don't find me nagging, but these are the things that you would be questioned upon. So
yeah,
when
yeah.
you say you know something, you have to be justifiable, right?
Yes, yes,
So
yes, yes.
if you land in a job, I'd be more than happy.
Yeah,
Seriously.
yeah. I am also hoping to get that as soon as
You will
possible.
you will get Midun. So at least let's put up like 1.5 to 2 years of experience with this. I think that's sufficient enough. The areas you'll be questioned is server side, client side scripting, data policies, UI policies, workflows.
Okay, okay.
Okay. So when I prepare your CV tomorrow, you go through the CV. Okay.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
On your basis of CV, then I'll start conducting questions. So you will much better understand like how it can come. They'll touch
Yeah,
base
yeah.
on the basic functionality, also
And
the
uh,
projects that you've worked on.
yeah, yeah. And which project details like are you
I'll
going to
I'll just
like?
put random project details. You'll see. I will not mention any client or service specifically, but let's see. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. The
Uh,
client details, I will keep it like in some customer
yeah,
which I.
some internal. Yeah, you can keep something internal. Okay. Then
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
leave
yeah,
it blank. So
yeah,
don't randomly send off the CV without going through it.
yeah,
See,
yeah, yeah,
go through the details and then. Uh,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah,
yes.
sure, sure, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure. Okay. Anyways, all the very best. Let's
yeah,
prepare your CV tomorrow. I'll conduct your mock. Then
yeah,
again,
yeah,
we'll catch up tomorrow. All the very best. Start preparing.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, thank you,
Sure.
thank you.
Sure. Sure. Bye. See you tomorrow then, night 9
Yeah,
p.m.
yeah, sure, sure,
Yeah.
sure,
Sure.
sure.
Bye. Bye. Take care.
Bye, bye.